Hey everyone, my name is Sajan. Today we are diving into some complex topics in web development, but don't worry, I will break it down for you. Before we get started, make sure to hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon so you don't miss any of my future videos. Alright, let's jump right in. Today we are tackling two big topics, authentication and authorization. Building these systems can be pretty challenging because there is a lot to consider, like social logins, multi-factor authentications, encryptions, custom login flows, and roles, permissions, also GDPR compliances, and maintaining security protocols. And most challenging part is when your application grow, that's gonna create a performance bottlenecks. It's a lot to think about, but don't worry, I'm here to break it down for you. As developers, managing user authentication, access control, and identity verification can be time consuming and complex task. That's where Kind comes in. So, welcome to Kind. So, what it is? Kind is a robust platform designed to streamline and simplify the process of integrating secure user management into your web and mobile applications, allowing you to focus more on your product. Let's take a look at what Kind has to offer. I have broken it down in two sections, Kind for business and Kind for developers. For businesses, Kind provides tools like user, release management, branding, B2B, and monetization. Let's see what it is. Users, this includes everything from authentication and user management to lead generation and connected apps. Release management, you will get an environments, feature flags, and more. For brandings, there is a page designer and custom domain support to match your brand. B2B, it handles multi-tenancy through organization and access management. Monetization, you also have a billing features to manage your revenue, for example. Now, for developers, Kind offers a wide range of SDKs. As you can see in the screenshot, it supports Android, .NET, Express, Python, and more. So stick around. By the end of this video, I will show you a quick demo of how to integrate Kind SDK into a React web application. Let me highlight some of the key features of Kind. User authentication. It supports multiple authentication methods such as passwordless login, email password, social logins like Google, Facebook, etc., and single sign-on. This flexibility allows users to sign up and log in seamlessly. Authorization and role management. So, Kind allows you to assign roles to users, enabling easy role-based access control. Abbreviation is RBAC. This ensures that users can only access the resource that they are authorized to do, simplifying permission management within your application. And identity and access management, which is IAM. With built-in tools for user identity management, Kind securely handles user account creation, access token, and session management, giving you a peace of mind when it comes to security. And customizable user flow. So you can customize the user onboarding and login flow to match the branding and experience of your applications, delivering a smooth and consistent user experience. Compliance. Kind helps you maintain compliance with data protection regulations like GDPR, ensuring ensuring secure handling of user data, consent and privacy. The last key features, one of my favorite, developer-friendly SDK and API. So Kind provides easy to use SDK and APIs available for multiple platforms and frameworks, making it simple for developers to integrate authentication and authorization features quickly and effectively. Alright, let's check out some of the awesome benefits of using Kind. First up, reduced development time. Kind takes care of the tricky parts of user authentication and access control. So you can save time and focus on building the core features of your application. Next, enhanced security. Kind follows top-notch security practices to keep your user-sensitive data safe and protected. And finally, scalability. As your app grows, Kind grows with you, effortlessly handling large number of users and requests. It is a game changer whether you are a developer or a business owner. In summary, Kind is an ideal solution for developers who wants to offload the complexity of user authentication and management while ensuring a secure, reliable experiences for their users. For businesses, Kind ensures a secure, scalable, and reliable experience for users, streamingly access control while supporting compliances with data protection regulations. So, whether you're building an app from scratch or managing a growing user base, Kind helps both developers and businesses save time and improve security. Yeah. Demo time. In this demo, I'm going to walk you through a simple React application and show you how to easily integrate Kind login and logout flow. You will have a fully functional authentication system that's secure and quick to set up, saving you a ton of development time. Alright, let's dive in. I'm going to build a React application that uses the Kind library for authentication and authorization. Here is what we are setting up. The app will have login, logout, a public page, and a dashboard. Now, only users who are logged in and have the right access can view the dashboard. So let's get started and see it in action. First, let's scaffold React application. I'm going to use Vite and TypeScript template. For that, I'm going to run a command that is npm create Vite app name kind auth dash template react.ts. Click enter. So it's just going to create a basic setup. Now I've got to install all the node modules in order to run this application. So I'm gonna change directory to kind auth and pmp install. Just going to change the directory and then it's going to install all the node modules for me. Okay, before we start coding, we need to set up Kind. For that, we need to go to kind.com and create an account. So Kind as free, pro, and plus. So some of them are a bit expensive. So I'm gonna stick with the free version for now. However, if you're interested in taking yeah, pro or plus or scale, there is a page in kind.com where they explain how much it will cost and what are the features that is included, and everything is here. And the more detailed view, you can see all of this information in the free, pro, plus, and scale. So for this tutorial, I'm going to stick with free because that's more than enough to showcase for this tutorial. So yeah, let's first create an account. Okay, this is my, so you just have to fill in your fake details or your own details. I already have an account, but that's something I don't want to use it for this video. So I'm going to create an account with a fake email. For that, I'm using tempmail.org. This will temporarily give me an email address, which with this email address I can create an account, verify, I can do everything. So after this video, I'm going to delete my account from Kind, and also this email is a fake email. So yeah, so let's do that. I'll copy that email, go to Kind and say, I'm going to say test user and paste the email address and create an account. So Kind will send an code to my email address where I have to verify it. So this is the code. So I'm going to copy them and go back to Kind and then paste it and click continue. So the next step, it's going to ask you to enter your business name for this video tutorial. Tutorial, and it's also assigned a subdomain for that will be like videotutorial.kind.com, and my region I'll choose Europe and click next. It will take a bit of a time to set up, so please be patient. Okay, so it is in the next screen it will ask you to, how do you want to use the code. So for now you can actually use existing code base if you already have one, or if you're planning to integrate with your existing project. For this tutorial I'm going to stick with start a project from scratch and then click next. In this section, I'm gonna choose React because we scaffolded React basic application. So just click React and next. And this screen, how do you expect the user to log in your application? So for this tutorial, I'm gonna set up email only, but you have other options like Facebook, Google, X, Discord, a lot of external logins. But in order to do this, you need to set up OAuth setup in their specific providers. If you want, let me know in the comment. I will create a separate tutorial for this, but for now I'm going to stick with email. And click next. I don't want to connect my code. Instead I use a React starter kit. If I click, there are a couple of information here. You can also download or view on GitHub, but for this case all I care about this information. So I'll just copy this information and I'm gonna put it inside my code. So for this tutorial I'm just gonna keep it in a simple static file. So I call this something called settings.ts and copy paste this, and all of this are string. Also export them. These are all important. I will show you why. And yes, this is the React SDK from Kind. So I'm gonna add this library in order to use their API. So we need this. So copy this, come to my terminal and paste it and enter. Alright, we got all the information from Kind. Now we're gonna create a provider. So this provider is gonna be my main app. So for that I going to main.ts, say this, and just use it. Now I need to pass client ID. It's gonna be wheat client ID from the settings, and the next parameter is gonna be the domain. So wheat domain. Yep. And logout URI, which I will explain it to you why we want to do it. Window.location.origin in a minute. And URI is going to be window.origin. Alright, so this is the basic setup that we have. And the next step, we can install our React router DOM. So I will show you how to do that. Okay, now let's install our React router DOM package. For that, pmp install React router DOM. Okay, now we have to create our routers. In the component, what I want to do is just simply delete all of this and create a simple div, and the div is going to contain our React routers. For that, provider, router, yeah, this. So yeah, I just created a browser router that is from the React router DOM package, and also I'm using the router provider. In the create browser router, I'm just assigning the element as our app component that is from here. So by default, this will render on the root page whenever the / browser. This is the root, and now the app component is rendering. So if I put something like app component, you'll see it on the screen. So yeah, this is the root component for now, because this is the place where we're gonna define our login button thing. So now I want to show you what happens from the kind. So let's use a hook from kind. It's called from use kind auth. So this returns a user and some boolean variable is authenticated, loading, and also other stuff like client, flag, ID token, organization, permissions, and you can also get the token from use kind auth, which you could use this token to protect your backend API, which I will cover later in the tutorial. So that's a separate video series that I'm making. I will publish it in my channel. And so yeah, for now let's focus on these three properties. So if I console log this, you will see it will be false. If you open the console, you see it's false because it's currently not authenticated. So now we have to initiate an authentication flow. So for that, I'm gonna call a method that is exposed inside the use kind auth. So yeah, all we have to do is just call this button, on the button click. So say login and login. So now we have a login button. If I click this, it will redirect me to the kind auth. So let's give it a try. Okay, so now the thing is, it is redirecting, however, kind is throwing an error. It's an invalid callback URL. The reason, our window.location.origin comes from this localhost 5173. So this is not registered in our application setting, which is in the kind portal. So that's what this error message says, to add a callback to your application now. So we have two things, we have two options. Either we can change our port, which is which we mentioned here, it's 3000, that we could do it in vite config so that the callback would work, or we can add this URL in our callback application. So for example, if you click the button, then this will just take you here. So this is what the kind is throwing an error. This is the place. So basically, kind, you can add a number of callbacks. It is in the next line, in a new line. So you can say HTTP localhost 5173. Yeah, so now this will allow us to log in. But when you log out, it won't, because there is no logout URL defined. So maybe we can just say the same thing. We can paste it here. So in this place, you can actually define your actual domain. For example, let's say you have some domain.com. You can define it like this, or you can also say go to the file dashboard, something like this. So you can define all this stuff. So once you log in, it will just redirect back to this profile. Yeah. All right. So now let's just go save this. Okay, I saved it. Now I'm going back to my React application 5173. Now I'm clicking. Now I will click login. It should take me back to kind. So now it just says, okay, everything seems good. Now you enter your email address that you used to create with the account. So this is the email address I'm gonna use. Go to our application. Yeah, and this is the email address. If I click continue, no account found. So basically that's your kind account, but there is no user in your kind account. So in order to do that, you need to create an account. So you have two options. You can create one from this portal. You can register as a new user, or you can go back to this portal where you can add users in your in your account. For example, there is 0 users currently, so you can just click menu, users, add a users. You can just provide your own user details, email and everything, and just click save. With this user, you can be actually logged in. So maybe I will do that. My user, my user, email. Again, I'm just gonna use another one. I'm gonna delete this. I'm just gonna create another fake email address. So yeah, copy this, paste my user. I don't have to provide anything, and this is the default organization. Okay, now I have created a new user. Okay, yeah, I can also set a temporary password, but I'm not gonna do that now. So I'll go back to my application, click sign in, and paste that email address and click continue. Now Kind is sending me an code where I can use this code to log in. So let's wait for the email to arrive. Yes, got the email, and copy this, paste, and click continue. Alright, you are logged in. You see the log? Now you are authenticated with Kind. So the login is authenticated. It's true. If I console log user, you will see the detail of that user that we created. Email address, ID, and the default avatar and the given name. Everything is here. So even you can get a token from Kind Auth. So get token. You can just call this it can be undefined. So it's a promise. So you gotta use it with the asynchronization. So say right scalability token. I just want to call this after the component mounted. So yeah, that's why I'm using this hook. Say boom. There you see, this is the JWT token. So you can also check what is inside in this token. So there is another website called jwt.io, where you can actually decode your JWT token, and you will see all the information here. So the audience is empty, and AZP code, and expiry date, issuer, and all this information is here. And this is the user ID. And yeah, the current scope of this user is OpenID, profile, email, offline. And if you set a permission, the permission will be a part of this, and this is your organization code. So which organization this user belongs. So all this information is all right here. All right, now we have logged in successfully. Now let's go back and log out. So I'm gonna just add another button. This one is gonna call a logout function. Let me input that. Okay, this is the logout. Now if I click logout, we're logged out. You see it's authenticated as false, and all the token is undefined because no user, no nothing. So everything, you are logged out successfully. So with this, now we're gonna create a dashboard page which is only accessible if this user has view dashboard permission enabled. Let's see how to do that. So before we do that, we need to create a permission for that user. So let me show you how to do that in the portal. So go back to your kind.com app and click menu, click users. You can see view profile. Not here. Yes. If you see the roles and permissions, so first you can create a role. So this role can have multiple permissions. Let's say product owners, for example, for short PO, and it's gonna be product owner. We can also assign a new member whenever you create an account, create a user in this portal, but we don't want that, so let's switch it off and click save. So now we have a role. You can also create a permission. Go back. menu, user, no, menu. Okay, where is it? Menu, settings. Yeah, permissions right here. I click permissions, add. So this is gonna be the name of the permission should be view dashboard, and I'm gonna provide like this. This is a key which will return from the hook. So we're gonna use this like this, view dashboard, view colon dashboard. I click save, and yes, and now we need to assign this permission to that role. Okay. Okay, right here, this users and role PO is enabled, and the permissions here. Click role. This is the role. No, wait. Okay, this is the permission for this role, so you just have to enable it and click save. Now this user has a role PO, and the key is product-owner, and this permission, this role has a permission called view dashboard. Okay, so now you can log in with the log in with this email address, this user email address. You can see you will see the permissions for this user. So let's go and do that. Click login, and the email address is this one. Paste. I'll get a code. Okay, that's it. No, that's the old one. Oh, it's the code. I'll copy this, paste, and copy. Okay, now I'm logged in. Now if I go to now let me go here, read all this, get permissions. So okay, if you see in this permission object, this organization and the permission is view dashboard. If this user has a view dashboard, we're just going to show the dashboard page. Otherwise, this user cannot access the dashboard page. So let's go and build the dashboard pages and the public page and protected route. Okay, let's create auth provider components. So I'm going to create a folder called components. In this, inside I need to have auth.provide.tsx component. So this component is gonna responsible for if this user authenticated and has some authorization to view any child component which is inside this component. So we're gonna do that. So export default function auth provide authorization required component. So let's override props, and just wanna create a simple props. Node, right? Now we need to use find auth hook. check is authenticated, is loading, and say is loading. We just return a simple loading component. I'm not gonna build a simple loading component. I'm just gonna return a simple div that has a text loading for this tutorial. And if is authenticated is false, now we have to say something like you do not have access to this page. Okay, this is this is for the permission, so we need to first get the permission. Say that it's gonna be the key. View dashboard. If it is false, then you do not have an access to this page, right? And if authenticator is false, then we need to say some kind of a message that you must be authenticated to view this page, right? Otherwise, if everything is fulfilled, so we just return the children. Cool. Now we're gonna use this component as a guard. So let's go to our app.tsx file. It's fine. Yes, right here. We need to create a children. This one's gonna be like our dashboard, and element is gonna be auth required. Inside that, I just say welcome to dashboard. Just a simple thing, simple h1 I'm rendering inside this. Yeah, okay. Now what I'm gonna do is simply visit this page, URL dashboard. Yeah, it won't print anything. The reason we need to tell React to render this children of the routers, this component. So for that we need to use something called outlet from the React router DOM. So now this will load the children of the parent component, any children. So you can have a number of children's like dashboard, profile, settings, or whatever. So you can keep it there. So it will render. So now it says welcome to dashboard because this user is authenticated. And we also want to change a little bit. The login button shouldn't be rendered if it is logged in. So let's just hide this guy. So the login is gone. Now only the logout is visible, and this should be only visible if the user logged in. So yeah, cool. Now we have the logout and the welcome dashboard is there. So let's log out this user. Now let's create another user. This time I'm gonna do it via the UI. So my dev super, and I'm just gonna choose another email, right? Just going to get a new email address to create a user. So wait, copy, paste it, create an account. Now I'll get a verification code here. Okay, copy, paste, and click continue. All right, you see this user don't have any permission, and there is nothing rendered here. So now let's check what's going on. It's not rendering, of course, but there is something wrong here. What's going on here? Right, so now we have the dashboard. It's still visible, but we don't have a permission. So I made a mistake because the get permissions return an object. So this object contain is granted. You see, if it is false, the user will see this. You don't have an access to this page because the granted is false. This user doesn't have a view dashboard permission, so you cannot see it. So that's all. And if you go back to the profile page, you will have a profile page. So let's say this is a profile page. It's inside the app. We can simply say, yeah, let's do profile page main, and yes, going to be a profile, and I don't need this to be protected. Not a profile, I'm sorry, this is going to be a public page, so I don't want to protect that. Welcome to Kind public page. So yeah, if you say public, it's going to be visible, no problem, but when you click dashboard, you won't be able to visit because this user doesn't have a permission to view this page. So let's go back to Kind portal and let's try to assign a permission to that user. So I'm going back home, user, this is my dev user, view profile, it's a role, and I'm going to assign that role to them. Remember, the role has a permission already, which is view dashboard. So you see it's mentioned here. So if I assign the role, whatever the role has permissions, that's all applicable to this user, my dev super user. So if I go back to my app and refresh, welcome to dashboard, because now the user has this permission, so the user can see it. So yeah, that's all guys for this demo. It won't take much time to build because it's very simple, and this is a simple demo. I'm not covered 100% of Kind authentication and authorization features. I was just showing you how easy it is to use. All we have to do is just use the Kind library that contains a provider as a client ID, domain, logout URI, and redirect URI. And these are all completely optional. It depends on the framework that you use. But for this tutorial, I just used to showcase the routing. So I used React Router DOM. This is completely optional. So all we did was just use the hook, just use that to validate whether the user is authenticated or can we log in, log out, permissions, everything. So that's it. It's not that difficult. It's very easy to use. So Yeah, that's all for this demo. Okay, if you found this video helpful and want to learn more about building and scaling web application, make sure to hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon so you don't miss any updates. I'll be posting more content to help you grow as a developer. So thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.